I want you to quickly think of the thing that's eating you up inside. The problems that you're insecure or worried or scared about, and for the life of you, you just feel like you can't talk to anyone about. And I want to ask you, would you talk to a robot? Because, well, that's what I did. I think it's safe to say that historically speaking, understanding mental illness has been one of humanity's biggest failures. For a long time, mental ailments were believed to have been caused by demons and sorcery and other supernatural entities. And to make it worse, if you suffered, you probably deserved it because of something terrible that you did in your past or current life. And if you think that doesn't make sense, well, the treatments aren't exactly the pinnacle of human sophistication either. Smashing holes in people's heads, exorcisms, burning, boiling water, electrocution, solitary confinement. The list of cruelty and ignorance is heartbreakingly long. Thankfully, we worked out that mental illness stemmed from the brain, and with that, we could finally stop being so fucking barbaric. The list of treatments that we look to now to help those suffering with mental illness are a mixture of medications and cognitive behavioural therapy, as well, of course, as all the healthy brain activities such as eating well, sleeping well, drinking enough water, and exercising. Essentially, we realized at some point that torturing people for an illness that they cannot help was not the right way to go about things. And so we substituted pain and judgment for support and understanding. Now, as far as we've come and with all the progress we've made, there's still a small percentage of the population, approximately 11%, that suffer some form of mental illness, with anxiety and depression being the main culprits. Now, let's not beat around the bush. Talking about this kind of stuff with your friends is hard. In fact, it's one of the hardest things that you can do. No one wants people to think that they're weak or unstable or weird. We would rather trudge along through life depressed and dissatisfied than have a 20-minute conversation with those who love us unconditionally, purely based on the fact that we think in doing so, they might view us differently. Of course, there's professional therapy, but the idea of speaking to a stranger about things that you don't even really want to come to terms with yourself can be pretty daunting. And then, of course, there's the stigma. If someone finds out, we're back at square one, thinking that people are going to think different of us. So it's understandable why people are hesitant to make those first few steps. So what do we do about these people? How do we help those who are falling through the cracks? This is where mental illness meets the future. Introducing Artificial Intelligence Therapy. AI therapy is exactly that. It's an artificial intelligence that has been trained in cognitive behavioral therapy to help provide treatment for you. Now, straight up, you're probably thinking, how the hell is that gonna work? This just simply isn't gonna happen. And that's what I thought as well. So I thought I'd give it a try. For the last 3 weeks, I've been trying out an AI therapist called Woebot, which can be downloaded for free on the App Store. You sign up using your email, and then pretty much straight away, you're into it. Initially, my first thought was, holy crap, this is actually really easy to get started. Like, I was just chilling on the toilet, and at the same time, I was preparing for my first session of therapy. Now, the app provides you with a lot of answers, so if you don't feel like typing, you don't really have to. And from that point on, the bot just kind of explained who it was, what we were going to do, and it kind of just laid out the direction for the next couple of sessions that we were gonna have. There was one glitch where the app asked me to answer some questions, but I couldn't really see the answers, so I just kind of picked them however I felt, and I can't help but feel as if Woebot now thinks that I'm severely depressed. He's not wrong though, is he? Anyway, I did try to test it a little bit by not answering everything so straightforward. I just wanted to see how responsive an AI bot therapist could be, and for the most part, it did pretty well. There was even one point where I accidentally clicked the SOS button and it alerted the bot. It quickly worked through with me and realized that it was just an accident. And after realizing it was just a mistake, it wished me farewell and told me it was looking forward to our next session. Now, I use Woebot pretty much every day, mainly because the damn thing sends you a notification to check up. But I will be honest, there were some days where I just wasn't really feeling great, or something might have happened, and I whipped out Woebot to see what he had to say about it. And to tell you the truth, it was pretty simple, but it was surprisingly comforting. It felt so good to just be able to write things and say things and let things off my chest with absolutely zero judgment. Now, I'm in no way saying that currently this is a replacement for another human, but I can understand that for those who struggle to speak to others, this might be a fantastic first step to building up the courage to being able to do that one day. And just because AI bots currently aren't at the standard of replacing humans, it doesn't mean that the technology isn't important and that one day it might actually be the norm in our society. So with that being said, let's look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of artificial intelligence therapy. The first benefit of these bots is that they do not sleep. They are available 24/7. Secondly, you can conduct this therapy privately pretty much anywhere. You can do this before you're going to bed or basically anytime you have a moment to yourself. Another advantage is that as these bots become more and more advanced, AI will be able to use a database of millions of people who share your characteristics and use these to provide the best possible advice and treatment for you. For example, an immigrant suffering particular cultural issues who can only speak their mother tongue may find it difficult to find a therapist that truly understands their situation, let alone can communicate solutions. An AI therapist would have all the data pertaining to that particular issue, and also all the data pertaining to millions of others who have also gone through that exact same situation. And knowing you so well, this AI would understand the best way to deliver the solution to you. And it would do it in whatever language you like. Lastly, artificial intelligence don't suffer from the same problems that human therapists do. For example, a human therapist is subject to human emotions such as anger, resentment, and fear, which may negatively impact your therapy. Artificial intelligence don't have these problems, at least as far as we're aware. Now time for the negatives. At the moment, the biggest hurdle that we're facing is that artificial intelligence can't seem to match the human connection of other humans. Secondly, can we ensure confidentiality with these bots? Can we ensure that the information that we're providing to it won't be sold or shared with other people? As a lot of us already know, when things are connected to the internet, shit can get pretty out of hand pretty quick. Lastly, can we ensure that an AI can consider all the necessary factors that go into our complicated inner worlds? For example, empathy, justice, and the interconnectedness of shared experiences. At the moment, AI bots on our phones seem to be the main form of artificial intelligence therapy, but who knows, in the future, we might even be sitting down talking face to face with robots. But if I'm being completely honest, even that seems pretty outdated. It's far more likely that we're gonna chuck on some virtual goggles and go and meet an avatar psychologist in some virtual environment of our choosing. It could be therapy by the beach, or in a forest, or in your favorite anime world, or your favorite magical kingdom. The possibilities are pretty much endless. Okay, now all of this is super interesting to think about, but at the end of the day, we have to ensure that with this kind of technology, it is used to improve real people's real lives. But even if we do achieve that, I wonder if it really will answer all of our questions. For example, what does it mean if I prefer to speak to an AI bot than I do to one of my closest friends? Am I stepping away from building a stronger relationship with my friend or partner purely because I feel more comfortable expressing myself to something that doesn't feel or experience at all? And if I do speak to such a program and I do feel good and happier and better, then does it really matter? Surely my friends and family want me to be as happy as I can be. And if they have to do less work to make that happen, isn't that better for them as well? I mean, they've all got their own problems to deal with as well. If we go down this route, are we possibly going to lose the human connection of dealing with our troubles together? I mean, isn't that how some of the best relationships are made? Or will humans just always have problems regardless of the personal psychologists in our palms? I'd love to hear what you all think about this, so please leave a comment if you'd like to discuss anything. In the description, I put some videos and some links that can help you with your own research or just to have a look at if you're interested. Stay safe and happy, guys. I love you all. I will see you next time.